guys, welcome back. So this is video 9 in this little playlist, and it's hacking a clock. So let's get into this video. We're gonna actually do DC-1. I wanna show you guys how to I think we downloaded it in the last video, right? I was just super tired last night, so forgive me. So I already have it installed. I think we navigated to the HTTP site and all that stuff. So what we're gonna do in this video is go through the flags and see how many flags we can find. But from reading what they said on the site, it's pretty much get the final flag, right? So that's pretty much what we have to do. And I believe it's 5 flags. So let's go check it out. If you guys are new to the channel, you know the deal. Please like, subscribe, share. And if you're returning, let's have some fun. All right. So let me open up my notes, my cheat sheet on the right here. Just so like if I need any commands, I can just copy and paste them. All right, cool deal. So let's go ahead. Let me do ls. I made a folder just before I went to bed last night called DC-1. So let's go ahead and cd to DC-1. So there's nothing in DC-1. So what we're going to do is I want to ping, make sure it's still up. It's 200.6, if I remember correctly. Yep. So that's the IP address of my DC-1 machine. So before we actually get started, we can come back here. And like I said, I was like half dead last night, so sorry about that. So the technical information, DC-1 is a virtual machine built with VirtualBox. We are using VirtualBox. Hopefully you guys are too. So if we come here, the description, it's designed for a challenge for beginners. It's an easy, and it depends on your skills and knowledge, the ability to learn. All right, so to successfully complete this challenge, you're required to have some Linux skills, familiar with Linux command line, experience with some basic pen testing tools, such as tools to can be found in Kali Linux or Parrot OS. These are just penetration testing distros. We're using Kali Linux in my video. Okay. So there's multiple ways to gain root access or gaining root. However, I've included some flags which contains clues for beginners. So pretty much the ultimate goal is to get root. That's it. But if you need clues, you can probably find little clues, little paper trails or little breadcrumbs or whatever. So there are 5 flags in total, but the ultimate goal is to get the root flag. Right? So that's pretty much all we need to do on this machine is like King Kong rights. It's pretty much when you're doing a pen test, yeah, you can see low-hanging fruit, little tips and tricks, but maybe if you're doing an internal assessment, maybe your goal is to get DA credentials or domain admin credentials or domain admin access, right? But this is not a Windows environment, this is a Linux machine, so it's pretty much to probably have to do some privilege escalation, find out some information. I don't know yet because I don't know how hard it is or how easy it is. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, so let's just do an nmap, and then I'll just do a quick -a sc, and then I'll put this out to a dc.text, and then 10.0.200.6. Right. So we'll let that cook. So we know it is running port 80 because I remember we did run, I think we did run a command last night. I think. I don't remember. I can't recall. All right, so we got the results. So we got SSH open. We have port 80 open. So yes. So now what we can do is copy this. Let's go out to our browser. All right, so it's running Drupal. So this is, I think I did, we got this far yesterday, I think, and this is when I was like, I'm done for the night. All right, so we can see that it's running Drupal. You can Google, if you're not familiar with Drupal, it's a CMS. So what we need to do is maybe try to log into here, find credentials. Maybe it's running like a MySQL database. Maybe we can get into MySQL, dump the database, see what's in there, and so on and so forth. So if you're not familiar with Drupal, please go research about it. It's definitely useful knowledge to have, right? So let's go ahead and let's minimize this now. All right, cool deal. So now we have this here. So we have this to reference. So now what I want to do really quick is open up MSF console. So then we can, well, let's do a search exploit really quick. And Drupal, D-R-U-P-A-L. All right, so there's a whole bunch of Drupal. Let me actually exit out of this one because I don't need this one for now. Whoa. Okay. So let's go ahead and run that again. So it just looks a little cleaner. All right, so we have a whole bunch of exploits here. These are the titles. And you can see like SQL injections, add user, admin session, and these are like all proof of concept. So as you can see, we can see Drupal 2, 2, 3, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a MSF console. Let's just MSF console. Let's boot Metasploit up and see what we can find here. Once we can log into here, maybe we can pop a shell, maybe something like that, and maybe it's just susceptible to something easy. I don't know yet. So this is going to be interesting. All right, so let's do a Control L to start from the top. So let's just do search. What is it? Drupal. Yeah, almost forgot what Drupal. Okay. All right. So we have, what is that, 7 here, or 8, including 0. All right, so what we're going to do is, oh man. So we're going to do Dragon, let's see, what is this one? Okay, this is the web app one. So this is excellent. So let's use one. Okay, so now let's do show options. Let's move all the way up. All right, so we have to, put an R host, and then we can see what we can get. I don't know. Let's see. Let's set R hosts 10.0.200.6, and let's just try to run it. See if we can get anything. See if we get lucky. Oh, interpreter session 1 open. So pretty much we got a shell, or we got a interpreter, right? So now what we have to do is just pretty much, we can run like this. We'll give this a moment. Let's see if I do an ID. All right, now let's do ID now. Or who am I? All right, so there's no material. So what we're going to do is interact with this. So let's go ahead and just interact with this with interpreter. So let's see what we're going to do real quick. Let's do shell. Let's create a shell really quick. Let's see if I do ID now. Okay, so now we have ID. Now we're in a shell. So we dropped into a shell. So now if I can do who am I, we are www-data. And pretty much that's probably a low privilege user. We can't really do much with this. We can do an ls. Oh, right on the root here is flag 1. So where are we? So let's do a pwd. So we're in var. Okay, so let's cat flag 1.txt. Every good CMS needs, all right, so let me go ahead and copy this. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Let's copy this. And let's see if Cherry Tree is on here. Okay, Cherry Tree is, I like Cherry Tree. It's pretty good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and let's add a new thing. Let's put DC-1 and let's put notes. All right, let's go ahead and make this bigger. Notes. All right. So now we have flag 1. So remember, the ultimate goal is to get root. So every good CMS needs a config file. So what do? So pretty much what we have to do is figure out where the config file is in Drupal. So let's just go out to Google because I think I know, but I'm not sure. So let's just go, where is config file for Drupal? Drupal. Where is Drupal config file? So it's in default Default files. All right, so let's go. Let's do ls again. All right, so let's cd to sites. ls, so default, so cd to default. ls, so they have a settings.php, so let's cat settings.php. All right, let's look through here if they have something called flag2. I don't know. False. Let's keep going, nothing so far. All right, let's keep going up. Let's go all the way up to the top. And whoop, we passed it. All right, so, oh, right here, flag2. Brute force and directory attacks aren't the only way to gain access, and you will need access. All right, so let's just go ahead and just copy this, put this in cherry tree, and, next hint. Okay. So we'll hold on to that for later, and we'll see what's cooking. All right. So now what I want to do really quick is just get into because this is a little difficult to work in, so let's actually get into an interactive. So we can use, let's see Python. So Python is enabled, right? Python is, so what we can do is, I'm just going to copy and paste my script here. Let's copy this, just because I'm lazy. Paste. And now this is a lot better. Now we can do ls. Now we're in it like we're normally in a Linux system. It's a lot better and a lot easier to interact. All right, so let's get rid of this thing. Hate this thing. All right, so now what we can do is, let's see what we can do now. Trying to think. Let me think. All right, so, all right, what we're going to do really quick, let me see if I can locate MySQL. So I believe MySQL is installed, but let's go here really quick. Let's cd to DC-1 at DC-1.txt. I want to see something really quick. I just did a really basic PHP. Yep. Yeah. So there is a MySQL. Okay. So there is MySQL installed on that machine. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually see if we can, we need to find a user and a password for, this. So let's go back here. Actually, let's go back up. Was there any username password in here? Maybe that would have been helpful. Let's see. Flag2. Oh, perfect. Right here. Boom. How did I miss that? All right, so let's throw this in cherry tree. All right, so we have DB user and Rocket for a password. Perfect. Driver MySQL. All right, golden. We're good. So I was going to say, it has to have MySQL. All right, so we have a username and a password now. So now let's go ahead and rock and roll. And if you're not familiar, like I have a little cheat sheet with all my commands. If you're not going to run MySQL attacks or SQL injections and all that stuff, I don't do it every day. So I have a little cheat sheet in my notes, and if I need to refer to it, instead of going to Google, research and note taking is super critical in this field, and that's something like I figured out over the years. I hated taking notes. I was not a big note taker. I try to keep it all in my head, but it's too much information to do that. All right, so let's do MySQL. And then what we're going to do is do a user, so -u, and it's DB user and -p for password. And now my password is, what was it? Rocket, like that, I believe. Boom. So we're in. Now we're in the SQL database, or MySQL, right? So what we could do is, like, for example, show databases. Okay, so we have two databases here, information schema and then Drupal DB. So this looks pretty interesting. So if we get into Drupal DB, maybe we can find some information that we can dump or something like that. So let's go ahead and go to that. Let's go to use. I don't do any typos. Let's go ahead and paste that bad boy here. Okay. All right. So now what we can do is just do show tables. We can show the tables that we're running, and yeah, let's see. Show tables. All right. Let's see what kind of tables we have in here and see if there's anything interesting. All right, so we have, I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm just going to glimpse at them and see if there's anything that pops out. They probably have a users in here. Yeah, users. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to select everything inside the users. So the way you do that is very simple. Like again, I have my cheat sheet, so you can do select everything, which is asterisk, right? We can put the little star. And then what we want to do is we want to pull everything from the users. So from users, right? Okay, so what this is saying to me, what this is doing, it has a admin user, which is, it's really discombobulated, but, and then it has this hash. So we have an admin user and we have a Fred user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a copy. Let me do this, see if I can copy like this. Because this seems pretty interesting stuff too. I want to put DB users found. Okay, and let's go back, and then we can get Fred. Okay, so with these two, maybe we can try to crack these. Maybe we can do something with them, but let's try to see if we can, yeah, that's a little better. All right, so now let's minimize this. And what we can do now is see if we can try to crack this, right? Maybe we can try to run it on like CrackStation online and, you know, something like that. So let's just give that a jingle. Let's give it a go. Let's do CrackStation online pass. So let's see if we can, this is a little small. Let's try to make it. So it's a free password hash cracker. So let's go ahead and try to, let's do the admin first because that looks pretty, try to copy this and paste it here and just to see if it actually works. Sometimes it doesn't. So we have to find the bridges. This is a bridge. That's not a bridge. This looks like a bridge. This looks like a bridge. Okay. Crack hash. All right. So the hash is unknown. So it's an unrecognized hash format. Okay. No sweat. That's not a problem for me. Okay. So with that, what we can do now is, you know, let's get out of here. So let's exit this. Let's go see you. What do I want to be you, right? So now we're back into here. So let's just do an ls again. Let's cd to home. Let's start from here. So we have, all right, flag 4. All right, so let's just cd to flag 4. I don't know what's this. ls. So let's cat flag dot flag 4. Sorry. Okay, so let's just copy this and just throw this in our notes as well. Let's just put that up here. All right, so let's go back. All right, so flag 4. You can use the same method to find or access the flag in root. Probably, but perhaps it's not that easy, or maybe it is. So pretty much that's like a trick, you know, that's like a rabbit hole, right? So pretty much what they're saying is, can we just cd to root? And obviously we can't do that. That's going to be way too easy, right? So at this point, what we have to do is do privilege escalation. So there's a site that I love to use. And let's just go here. GTFO bins. So what we're going to do now, we can try to find a for an example, let's see like find. I think let's just find. Okay, so let's click on find. Now this can be used to break out, restricted environments by spawning an interactive system shell, right? So what we want to do, what I want to try to do, this is what I normally do and how I did other boxes. I want to see if the same technique works. And if it does, we're golden. If it doesn't, better luck next time, Pat. All right, so let's do it. Let's give it a jingle. All right, so now what I want to do really quick, let's go ahead and CD to home. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's just CD to home. Let's just CD. All right, ls. So let's go ahead and go to temp. Let's go to CD temp. Okay, let's do an ls. There's Pat. Pat. That's weird. All right, that's interesting. All right, so what I want to do, that's really interesting. I don't know if there's someone that's named Pat. I don't know. That's really strange. All right, but no problem. So what we're going to do is create a file, right? So I want to make a file, like for an example, I want to call it DC-1, right? So we can do touch DC-1, right? So now we have this DC-1 file created, right? So if we look back here, we can run a find and an execute in bin sh sudo. We can find dot like whatever file that we want to find, right? So let's go ahead and go back. So we created DC-1. So now let's just go ahead and just find DC-1 for an example, right? And then we could do dash exec and pretty much the same commands that we just saw on the other one. So it was bin sh, and let's close that out, and then let's see if this works. ID, oh snap, we are root. So that actually worked. That's perfect. So now what we can do is cd to root. All right, ls, the final flag. I think we did it. So let's see cat, the final flag, copy this, paste, paste, and boom, well done. Hopefully you enjoyed this and learned a few new skills. Yep, I always learn something new. You can let me know. So there you go. We did it, folks. So now we have compromised. This is a walkthrough for DC-1 on Vulnhub. And that's it. I think this will probably be the last video in this series. I really want to thank you guys for watching. And if you just came here for the walkthrough, cool deal. No hard feelings, but hopefully you watched all of them and you got some learning experience out of it. So I really enjoyed making these videos. Just please support me by subscribing, sharing, and all that stuff, and share the love. Thank you so much. Until next time, have an awesome day.